Welcome to my presentation about the year 2016 with a focus on American politics, American history. Currently the whole internet is speaking about the year 2016 and today we will do the same because in 2016 something happened that I had never seen before. With my 12 years, namely that people in German school spoke about politics. Back then, I can't remember that politics had ever been a topic before for us German students, early teenagers. In the year 2016, this changed. Suddenly it was spoken about American politics. For the first time in my life, I had seen that those young people were worried about the future. Therefore, today we will look at the things that somehow defined the year 2016 in American politics. Therefore, today we will look at the year 2016, starting in January 2016, going until November, until the legendary election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. The first difficult task the year 2015 had brought somehow was to fight terrorism. The terroristic attacks from 2015 were of course still a topic in 2016. Therefore, the US sent troops to Syria, to Iraq, to fight terroristic organizations. Of course, terrorism is always a topic, but there are years where it is more in the news, more actively spoken about, where it is needed to speak about it more actively. For example, in 2001, terrorism was a much bigger topic than in 2000, and 2016 was one of those years where it was a bigger point than in some other years. In 2015 there was an agreement with concrete goals for countries for the climate, to protect the climate. Obama wanted to stick to that, did that more or less. Donald Trump was against it and left the Paris Agreement when he was president. A much bigger topic was the death of Antonin Scalia. What did it have to do with that man? Well, Antonin Scalia was a judge in the Supreme Court. Until 2016 there were 4 judges who were rather Republican. That means that their votes whether went into the interest with the line of the Republican Party, and there were 4 liberal, rather democratic judges, and there was 1 swing judge. As far as I know, he was rather sticking with the Republican Party, but sometimes also went into the general line, general interest of the Democratic Party. Antonin Scalia was one of the very strong Republican, very conservative judges nominated by Ronald Reagan, a Republican, and the Democratic Party had the chance to get a 5th Democratic judge, which would lead to a majority for the Democratic Party in the Supreme Court for many, many years until the next judge dies, because this office is awarded for lifetime. Obama also had a judge he wanted to nominate to get the majority for the Democratic Party. The Republicans did not accept that. And the argument that the voters should have an influence, should decide along who would be the judge, the voters from the 2016 election. There was no agreement for a new judge until Donald Trump became president, who then announced another judge than Obama had actually intended. Another thing which was a topic was the Flint water crisis. Already in 2014-2015 there was a topic with contaminated water in a town in Michigan, in Flint. In that town 12 people died of the Legionnaire's disease, which can be led back to the conditions of the water in that town. This did happen in 2014-15 rather. In 2016 this also became a political and a legal issue. If the assumption is there that people die because of a bad infrastructure, the government has to react. But now let's move over to one of the most legendary elections in American history. The big thing in America in 2016 was of course the presidential election, and I think it is one of those elections which will be remembered better than many others. Not many people remember much about the 2012 election, and I think with the 2016 election it is different. Firstly, it was the first time in American history that a woman runs for president for a big party, for a party with a realistic chance to win. But also the Republican candidate was more or less surprising, namely Donald Trump. Donald Trump, a man who had never had a military or a political office before. No other president with neither a military nor a political office, but of course a well-known billionaire, a well-known entrepreneur. I think one point why this election is remembered so much and was spoken that actively about is Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a new type of politician, far away from the establishment Republicans the world had seen many years. Donald Trump came with concrete plans to change the politics in the United States in many, many ways. Build a wall to Mexico and especially reduce the work with other countries. America first. Support the own country's economy. Support the own country's trade. For the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton mainly wanted to continue Obama's politics, had some plans as well. The thing which became a big topic about Hillary Clinton was her time as foreign minister. An affair with her emails, namely that she used a private email server, therefore journalists cannot watch the mails she had received in her time as a foreign minister. Then there were also investigations from the FBI against her. However, on the day before the election and the time before, it was actually quite clear that Hillary Clinton would win. Yeah, in the polls, Hillary Clinton was leading quite clearly. So clearly that many people were sure that Hillary Clinton would win. Couldn't believe that Donald Trump would make it. But Donald Trump also had somehow negative press because a video from 2005 appeared where Donald Trump had said things that many people consider to be quite sexistic. And also inside the Republican Party there was doubt whether Donald Trump could win the election. I remember reading somewhere that even some Republicans suggested, I'm not sure whether this was really like this anymore, but I heard it, that some Republicans suggested to withdraw from the race, to shut down Donald Trump and automatically give the victory to Hillary Clinton. That would have been very unsmart because we all know how the election went in the end. The Republican Party won surprisingly. In the end, Donald Trump won the Electoral College. Later it came out that Hillary Clinton had won the popular vote with a margin of about 3 million votes. And I think the debates about the existence of the Electoral College became bigger with that. If you ask me, 2016 or with Trump's presidency already in 2017, a new era began. To summarize it, America reduced their international work and of course went into a conservative course. 10 years later, Donald Trump is still a topic, and I think the line Donald Trump established in the Republican Party will stay for a while. I think with every election the Republican win, this new era, this new line stays in America as well. And the reason people in German schools spoke so actively about American politics was Donald Trump as well. Mitt Romney in 2012, okay, I was much younger then, but he didn't matter. It was in the morning when it became clear that Donald Trump would become president of the United States, that Hillary Clinton has no realistic chance to win anymore. And at school, that was different. Everyone, the cool guys, the nerds, spoke about that election. It is difficult to describe the mood. It was somehow something like fear, worries about the future. It was desperation. It was not that people were so scared that they couldn't concentrate anymore, but you recognized something was different. It was the first time that for a whole day students spoke about nothing but politics. There was no other topic. It was the first time in my life that young people actively spoke about politics, actively discussed about politics, but had no other topic. Whether this was exaggerated or not, let's speak about it. But I think everywhere people recognized Trump is a new kind of politician. I think one reason why Donald Trump was such an impactful figure that was so actively discussed might be that normally politicians avoid to clearly say what they think. Donald Trump does not avoid that. Donald Trump says clearly what he thinks. For sure, it will have also other reasons, but I think that is an important one. So if you like this short flashback into the year 2016 and maybe would like to see also flashbacks into other years, then subscribe to the channel. And if you are also interested in what Germans think about American presidents in general, then watch this video here, where I speak quite actively on why Germans do not like Donald Trump. Thank you for watching.